Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crockett Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. Man, every night, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, you already know who I am. I'm the 5-star general. Lena Hidalgo, you got problems. KP George, pay attention. Baby, they got you with your bloomers down. That contract is coming back to bite you. And guess what? I got a copy of the full warrant. Let's talk about it. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for taking the time out to tune in. You know, without you good people, I wouldn't have a show. So it's always an honor and a pleasure to be able to hang out with you guys. Hold on just a second. Let me add a little something. And then we're going to get going. We're going to get going. Here we go. Say, man, I want to take the time out to tell you thank you for tuning in, you know, because every night, man, we do this. And we've been doing it faithfully now almost 2 years. And with that being said, tonight we're going to do what we do best, which is expose the truth. And for those that can't stand it, or you still stuck on the Democratic plantation, I'm finna drag one of your people tonight. I'm telling you what's finna go on. But I'm not going to lie on them. I'm going to tell the truth. And I'm going to put it out there. And you make the decision. In November, you have to go to the polls and you have to pick somebody to be your county judge, as well as pick new commissioners for commissioner court. But the county judge is the top dog. And you know, a few years back, they voted in Lena Hidalgo, who nobody knew, didn't have any money, no experience, no nothing. And she showed up on the scene, and a whole bunch of y'all just fell in love with this woman who does not have a clue what she's doing. She does not have a clue. Well, you know, it was a contract in regards to COVID outreach that Commissioner's Court passed 4-1. Jack Cagle was the only one that didn't vote for it. And but the contract seemed a little strange. The contract was to a company called Elevate Strategies, who didn't have a history of doing any of the work that's in the scope of the contract. Lady was a one-woman show working out of an apartment. Just so happens that she had prior political connections to Commissioner Adrian Garcia and as well to Lena Hidalgo. Well, we know in the past week or so that the Texas Rangers then ran up in the Harris County Administration building. I'm pretty sure they didn't have no masks on because they ain't wearing them when they come to see you. But they came to see them and they came to get some additional information because they're in the middle of an investigation. And in the middle of that investigation, some things came out and are going to come out. So we're going to start the program off this way. Let's go.
Texas Rangers and investigators with the Harris County DA served a search warrant at Harris County offices this morning. And they were looking for evidence linked to a controversial contract that may have been offered as a political favor, according to some. Fox 26's Tom Ziska has what we know so far.
Caitlin Rashi, that search warrant comes after subpoenas were sent late last year demanding records about that $11 million deal. The contract to fund COVID outreach and education in the community, it went to a one-person company, a political strategist with a limited track record that did not even receive the highest scores in the bidding process. Judge Lena Hidalgo canceled the contract in the face of scrutiny, but District Attorney Kim Ogg has been investigating whether laws were broken in the process. Texas Rangers came to Harris County's downtown Houston offices, reportedly looking for computers or other devices that may hold clues to how the Elevate Strategies consultant firm was selected for an $11 million COVID outreach program while having little experience doing such work. In a statement, the DA's office says, in part, a judge signed search warrants, which are legal authorization to search for and seize potential evidence of a crime. Last year, a bidding process scored Elevate second to the supposed expertise of UT Health for the program, but still won when some contractual requirements were suspended.
Bring it on, because there is nothing here.
Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo was defiant last year when questions were raised about the deal. Precinct 4 Commissioner Jack Cagle was among those who challenged the contract and now says he expected something like this.
So I'm not surprised with the things that we've seen with regard to this contract that have been unfolding ever since that little blow up we had in Commissioner's Court.
Judge Hidalgo's attorney responded with a statement saying the judge maintains strict ethical guidelines, continuing, "This is nothing but political theater since the devices would have been provided on request. What's missing is any shred of evidence. What's in abundance is politics." Either way, legal analysts say it is not a good look to have investigators show up with a warrant in hand.
It doesn't mean that Judge Hidalgo or anyone else in county government broke the law. What it means is that there is an investigation going on. We'll have to wait and see where the investigation goes and what the investigation reveals.
If it is made public, the search warrant would show exactly what investigators were looking for this morning, which in turn could offer some clues to what sort of case might be presented to the grand jury and what kind of wrongdoing might be alleged. Reporting live tonight, Tom Ziska, Fox 26 News.
Now, that was when it first happened. You heard us say, bring it on. This was before the warrant was unsealed. I got the warrant. She said, bring it on. Her people said she stands by the highest ethical standards. I'm going to say this before I show you this, that Lena Hidalgo, and there needs to be a public outcry right now, should resign her position immediately. That's the way Dollar Bill would say it. Immediately. Now, for all my intelligent people out there, she should resign her position immediately. Because what I'm about to show you contradicts her bring it on statement. And since you told the Rangers to bring it on, they done brought it on. They gonna go there and get that, and they done came back with that. So here's the thing. You should be sending email after email after email after email. You should show up in Commissioner's Court and demand her resignation now. But they investigating, so maybe we should just help the process. So let's share a screen with you. Okay. Here we go. Let me see. Where is it? Okay. Let's share the screen. And now we're going to click right here. She said, bring it on. Am I correct? So let's bring it on. Now, before I say this here, I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not a prophet, but some people say I am. But I tell you what, when Kirby John got caught up, I said Kirby John was going to go to jail. Kirby John Caldwell, he went to jail. When Brian Busby and them boys got caught up at HISD, people like, man, that ain't going to court. They finna go to jail. Now they done ran up in there on Hidalgo and her people. I say Hidalgo is going to jail and she needs to resign right now. I want you to push the share button on this video, share it to every group you got, every person you got, because I'm finna show you the truth. And now you tell me. She say she ain't did nothing. She say she lives by the highest ethical standards. Well, I'd say you a liar. I say you a pathological liar. And it's time for you to go. So let's get this screen right for you. And we're going to go into the screen. We're going to see if we can make it a little bit bigger. Okay, how does that work for you guys? So now you can see this. This is the actual warrant that was sealed, and we obtained the warrant today. The state of Texas, County of Harris search warrant. You ain't getting no warrant unless you already got some real live evidence. Let's see if the county judge really wanted them to bring it on. To the sheriff or any peace officer of Harris County, Texas, greetings. Whereas complaint in writing under oath has been made before me, Deron Parker, a peace officer employed by the Texas Department of Public Safety, who is currently assigned to the Texas Rangers Division, Company A, with the address of 12230 West Road, Houston, Texas, Harris County, which complaint is attached hereto and expressly made a part hereof of all purposes, blah, 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 blah. Let's just get down to it, man. Y'all bear with me. I really want to just, now here we go. So they run up in the building. Y'all bear with me because I gotta navigate this thing. All right. They wanted the laptop Apple MacBook, gave you the serial number, owned by Harris County, Texas, assigned to Wallace Nader, with the authority to search for and seize any and all evidences of offenses of tampering with governmental document and misuse of official information, or that a particular person committed tampering with governmental document and misuse of information, namely any of the following. So this is what they were looking for. Y'all bear with me. I'm trying to navigate this thing. Oh, there we go. They wanted any messages, any call history or call logs, any voice messages, any recordings, electronic messages, any documents, any files. They wanted screenshots. Oh, man, bear with me, man. They wanted screenshots or photographs, any documents or evidence showing the identity and ownership or identity of users of said electronic devices. This relates to the RFP titled Targeted Community Vaccine Outreach. Okay. That's what it was. All right. The hiring or contracting of Felicity Pariah and Elevate Strategies, LLC, by Harris County, Texas, the scope of work by Felicity, or targeted vaccine outreach, or the drafting thereof, selection and services on the evaluation committee for the awarding of the contract. So you see, they wanted a lot of stuff. So let's skip this. And that was signed on March 16th, 2022 at 2:12 p.m. Who the judge? Judge Denise Collins, Harris County District Court. And of course, you see the affidavit. They wanted that from Wallace Nader. All right. He's a Texas Ranger. He's assigned. The search warrant request seeks the contents of the electronic device owned by Harris County and used by Nader to conduct Harris County business, including the creation and exchange of communication and drafting and revision of documents related to the awarding of the targeted community vaccine outreach Harris County job number 21/2022 0042 contract to Elevate. Y'all ready? Let's go. Let's see if she really wanted them to bring it. I found and reviewed the bid solicitation for the request for proposals titled Targeted Community Vaccine Outreach, Harris County. Blah, 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 blah. The public bid solicitation gives the bid number, and the description is Targeted Community Vaccine Outreach. The bid opening date is March, looks like 8th, 2021. The available date for public access is February 19th, 2021. Let's go. The purchaser is listed as Sean Venerable, and the organization is listed as Harris County Purchasing Agent. All right. The public bid solicitation number contains an attachment called RFP package. Now, I'm familiar with the RFP process with HISD. It's a very secure process if it's done the right way. It's certain things that certain people should know at certain times. They have blackout periods where you cannot communicate with anybody. Let's see if they follow the rules. All right. Under the title, it states request for proposal. The document, which I will refer to as Vaccine Outreach RFP, then proceeds to lay out the rules and procedures for vendors to submit proposals to this particular public request for proposal. In the introduction, it states that Harris County is authorized to use the competitive proposal method of procurement for this contract opportunity in accordance with 2 CFR 200.320D. In the section titled Schedule Summary, it states the RFP release date is February 5th, 2021, and the proposal submission deadline is February 22nd, 2021. So basically, this RFP needed to be sent in by that date, which would be February 22nd, 2021. All right, so let's go. Let's get, hold on, y'all, because let me see if I can do this a different way. Hold on, because this is tough on me right here. Let's see. Okay, let's close this, and now let me try it a different way, y'all, because it's not giving me the little thing to scroll down. So I'm gonna see if I can get it a different way. There we go. Now I can work. Let's go. So now I can work. All right, so we're gonna get on in this thing. All right. And the deadline was February 22nd, 2021. All right. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger for you guys. You should be able to see it now. Okay. Task 1 is labeled Community Outreach Strategy Management and Oversight. The document states that the work under this task will result in comprehensive strategic plan for the county's overall hard-to-reach community vaccine outreach campaign, as well as oversight over the implementation of this place once developed. All right. And they wanted the work under this task shall result in actionable data, mapping, modeling tools that allow messaging and community engagement for vaccine adoption outreach to be effective as possible. So it's telling you what the program would actually do. It carries the seal of the Harris County Purchasing Agent. I have viewed a proposal tabulation from Dopslav dated Monday, March 8, 2021, with the job label number Community Vaccine Outreach for Harris County. All right. So here we go. These are the names of the 4 organizations that bid on this project. Elevate Strategies, the University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston, the National Association of Latinos Elected and Appointed Officials educational fund, and kicking ass taking names LLC DBA Texas Tool Belt. They do business as Texas Tool Belt. The proposal tabulation is signed by 2 individuals from purchasing and 1 from the Harris County Auditor's Office, all on March 8th. The signatures clarify that the company submitted proposals by the due date and time. Okay, let's get into this. Let's see where it gets into. I've reviewed a scoring evaluation sheet from purchasing that sets out the scoring by the evaluation committee members of the 4 proposals received. According to the scoring evaluation sheets, 5 individuals were tasked with scoring the 4 proposals. Alex Tranophilis, Wallace Nader, Aaron Dunn, Stacy Lofton, and Dixie Sassu. Now, let me break that down for you. This committee should have no contact with anybody that submitted those proposals. I know this for a fact because I was a vendor for HISD, but I never did business with them. I went through the RFP process for a contract, and I just, like, I don't want to deal with this. But I went through the process of getting to the point where my company was chosen as one of the companies that would be in that RFP. All right? See, because in all actuality, you could have split the RFP amongst the 4 companies. They would just have to split the $11 million. But they said they wanted 1 company. Okay, so the scoring evaluation sheets asked those 5 individuals to score the proposals in writing on a scoring sheet based on 3 categories: firm's experience and qualifications. Well, we know that the firm that got all this jacked up had no experience. They ain't never did this before. Okay, firm capacity and resources. We know that the company that was chosen had no firm capacity. There was only 1 employee. Organization and project methodology. As we go along through this tonight, I'll show you that these people did not know what they were doing, but they were finna get a major $11 million hookup. A 4th category, price, would be completed later by purchasing based on the best and final offers submitted. The weight given to the score of each category was predetermined. Based on the scoring of all 5 evaluation committees, the University of Texas Health Science Center scored the highest with the total score of 46.80. They should have got the contract. They scored the highest. They the best that they had. Okay, so let's go. Let's go. Elevate Strategies came in second with a total score of 40.40. Texas Tool Belt in third with a score of 34.80. And Texas, the NAELO came in last with a total score of 23.60. I reviewed the phone directory of the Office of Harris County Judge that is marked as revised on February 8, 2021. The directory marked as revised indicates that Dunn has the title of Senior Advisor for Public Safety and Emergency Management. His mobile number, if y'all want to give him a call, is 832-314-6922. I'm not doxing him. This is in public record. So you can go and pull the same thing that I pull. And his office location is listed at 410J. The directory marked as revised indicates that Nader has a title of Deputy Policy Director. His phone number is listed, and he's in 410H. And Trander Phillips has a title of Deputy Chief of Staff with a mobile number and an office location also. And that's Deputy Chief of Staff for Lena Hidalgo. I have viewed multiple emails sent and received by Lofton. This is her email address, which I know to be an email domain of employees of Harris County Public Health. The signature of many of her emails lists her as Stacy Lofton, Policy Planner, Health Equity, Office of Policy and Planning, Harris County Public Health. Okay, so we're going to skip. So they just going over who they are. The letter states, it was to whom it may concern, and is dated May 24th, 2021. The letter states in part, after reviewing the proposals submitted in response to the targeted community vaccine outreach for Harris County RFP, it is the recommendation of the review committee that we award the contract to Elevate Strategies with the maximum award amount of $10,973,000. The letter is signed by Tranta Phyllis. All right, now it gets good, y'all. Don't go nowhere. And this was voted on by all the commissioners and the county judge. The only one that didn't vote for it was Commissioner Jack Cagle, who voted no. All right, so let's keep going. So this is just telling you who the vendors are. Now, it's going to tell you why certain people were not chosen. Although Elevate Strategies, LLC, received the second highest score, they were considered the best proposal due to their firm understanding of the requirements and the provision of a strong submission overall. Now, I want you to remember that statement. Elevate Strategies was chosen due to their firm understanding of the requirements and the provision of a strong submission overall. It then states that the remaining vendors were eliminated due to the following reasons. NALEO proposal is focused on Latino communities rather than a whole county approach, and is focused primarily on marketing rather than direct community outreach. Although the University of Texas Health Science Houston received the highest score, the data analytics capability of UT are high quality. The community outreach work that they have provided for other projects, such as Harris Saves, has not shown to be successful. This is why they eliminated UT. So why are you doing business with them if they ain't good at what they do? Texas Tool Belt proposal matches up broadly with the scope of the project. However, their proposal is missing some level of emphasis on data analysis and targeting components of this project. It states the amount of the contract is $10,973,000. It ends by stating that the project was a request for proposal, and so evaluation and cost information is confidential until agreement is executed, which all response may become available for public view. So they wasn't going to tell them nothing about no money until they gave them the contract. I have reviewed the contract titled Agreement between Harris County and Elevate, signed by Felicity Pariah and Hidalgo and Harris County Assistant County Attorney Mancy, whatever his last name. The contract is for provision of targeted vaccine community outreach. Okay, so here we go. Let's get down here. Now I'm going to read you some email transcripts. So remember, they gave this contract to this girl saying that she knew exactly what she was doing. Now, the emails that you're going to read right now should have never been sent, because there's what they call a dark period when you're dealing with an RFP where you cannot communicate with anybody. None of these people should have communicated with her. But let's see what they're talking about. I've also reviewed Harris County business records that are transcripts of text messages between individuals employed in the county judge's office. Violation: no text messages from nobody in that office to nobody. These are text messages while the process is being decided. They haven't picked anyone at this point. That's taking us back a bit. And these text messages are between Tanner Phyllis Nader and Joe Madden from January 5th, 2021 through January 7th, 2021. So they was cooking the scheme up 2 months prior to this even going to commissioner's court. They were cooking the scheme up. They had to get it ready. The phone directory of the office of Harris County Judge with an address of blah, 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 blah. It was revised in the text messages. Follow me. Nader, Transit Phillips, and Madden discuss hiring Pariah to work with them, but it is unclear in exactly what capacity. So you finna hire this woman to work at the county, and you don't know what you want to hire her for with our tax money. According to the text messages, on January 7, 2021, they decided to send a proposed scope of work for Pariah to Hidalgo, from Pariah to Hidalgo for review. They then discussed adding additional aspect to the scope of work to her work. At 6:49 p.m. on January 7, 2021, Transit Phillips texted Nader and Madden, maybe we can add it as a data-driven part of our work. After Nader agrees, Transit Phillips texts, okay, let me try tossing something in the Google Doc while this wraps up for another 85 minutes. Just note, you'll need to resend the draft to her. Nader responds with a thumbs up. Transit Phillips then texts Madden and Nader, wordy as hell, but development and oversee a data-driven strategic approach to leveraging promoters and other credible community organizations and individual partners for vaccine outreach. Transit Phillips then texts a link to both Nader and Madden. I know from experience that links beginning with docs.google.com are links to Google documents. Transit Phillips then texts, I can't see that word, P something bullet. Just toss her the link this time. Once you're good, Wallace and Nader respond, okay. All right. This is the next email. All right. This is between Transit Phillips and Nader. He then texts, okay, I got her to agree with the scope. I made a copy, and so that we can have the old doc with her edits for reference. So go ahead, send it to Felicia so she can see what her thoughts are on money. What's her thoughts on money? They ain't even have a number amount. They ain't even have a number amount for this. They cooked up the number. All right, let's keep going. Nader then responds at 4:59 p.m. on January 12th with a hang loose emoji. All right. The next email is between Chu. Let's see. It's between Transit Phillips and Chang Chu. All right. In the messages, Transit Phillips asked for a copy of the portions of the scope for the Census 2020 project, one of which was completed by Pariah. So that means if she worked on the census with the county, that she had already worked with these people before. All right. I'm breaking it down for you. All right. Transit Phillips then texts Child that JLH may try something like it for vaccine outreach. So, in all actuality, they were just scheming on getting money. They didn't know how they was going to get it. So they come up with this vaccine outreach foolishness. All right. And according to the Texas Ranger, based on reviewing numerous texts and emails, I believe JLH to stand for Hidalgo. Later at 8:59 p.m. on January 12, 2021, Transit Phillips texts Child, can you help me understand this? I had Chris put this together based on the scopes of the two documents. So what they're really doing is they're in the beginning phases of creating her actual bid for the bid process. They're doing it for her to get the money. All right, let's keep going, man. But it kind of looks like all the substance comes from the second document, unless Chris pulled the wrong stuff from the first document. Regardless, my main questions are: one, if I just show her the stuff starting on page 2, it is that comprehensive to give her an understanding of Sevis and Felicity's roles? And if not, what other info is needed? He states that his guess is Felicity for task 1 and Sevis for task 2, and then others for task 3 and 4. I'll probably show her all 4 tasks at the end, but would be good to know. Chang Chow responds by stating, I'd take out Chris's first page and start with the second one. The ideal thing for what Hidalgo is probably looking for is a combination of all 4 tasks. Without knowing all the details of what she said, I think you'd want a vendor who can do a little bit of data analysis, messaging, and outreach, all with the goal of reaching the target community for equity. So I think it makes sense to show her all 4 tasks. Keep in mind that these RFPs get kind of scrambled. We want somebody like Felicity. We wanted somebody like Felicity from the beginning of the census campaign, but she got sidelined by CAG. So if Hidalgo was impressed by what Felicity did at the end of the census campaign, a lot of that was her working hand in hand with Sevis to use the data analytics to pump out direct outreach in mails, digital phone banking in target communities. Outreach strategists did the coordinating among all 4 vendors. A lot of work, but maybe not what's needed for vaccine outreach. Oh, they going at it, man. So now this is some texts between Transit Phillips and Ashley San Miguel from January 12th. Let's see what they were talking about. On January 12th at 6:29 p.m., San Miguel, Texas Transit Phillips stating that he was to send Hidalgo and Raphael Lamature the scope of work for Felicity and for COVID during the census. Hidalgo just violated everything. But remember, she said, bring it on. Why are you sitting there cooking this up with these people for your partner? But you said you live by the highest ethical standards. So you in on the plot. All right. Okay. Sent CC y'all. That's what they said. They were texting. Then he said he is locked out of his, let's go to the next page, email. But that is what he would send. If he could, then sends the same link to Chain. He states task 1 is what Felicity did. Task 2 is what Sevis did. Task 3 and 4 were done by other people, but probably still relevant. Okay, so let's back up just a little bit. I went too far. Now, this is an email listed as from Nader Wallace, County Judge Office. The email is listed. The email is listed as to Felicity at Elevate Strategies. The email is CC to Transit Phyllis Alex. The subject is COVID-19 data community outreach scope. There's a PDF attached to the email titled Scope of Work. The body of the email states in part, let us know your thoughts and proposed budget after you've had a chance to review. Alex copied, or I would be happy to discuss further by phone if that would be helpful. I have reviewed a copy of the PDF attachment to the email. The document scope of work contains 2 paragraphs that describe plans for strategic community outreach. One paragraph states development and oversee data-driven best practices, driven strategic community outreach to reach the communities and tear down barriers towards equitable distribution of vaccines and other Harris County, whatever that is, COVID-19 services. Okay, So what they basically did was they're in the process of creating her bid for her proposal for her. They're doing all of this. Okay. I have viewed an email sent on January 13, 2021. And this is between Felicity and Transaphilis and Nader. The email in part states, I'm going to take a deeper look here, but I'm also connecting with my good friend who is running COVID intelligence for NYC. So if y'all got some people in New York, you need to call them and tell them they down there taking the money, man. Just to round out my approach. Does EOD Friday work for y'all to receive proposal? Hold on a second. I viewed another email sent on January 14, 2021, 3:45 p.m. from Felicia Pariah to Nader and Transaphilis. The email state, I do have some follow-up questions that will help clarify the approach here. Any chance y'all available at any point tomorrow? I have reviewed a response email from January 14, where Transaphilis emails Felicity Pariah stating he is available for a call at 10:30 in the morning. None of this should have been going on. Now we're going to go. I viewed a transcript of a text between Nader and Transaphilis from January 14, 2021, 4:06 p.m. Nader texts Transaphilis asking if he wants to speak with Felicity Pariah or if she would do it, or both of them. Transaphilis responds that he should do it in case she asks about money. I viewed the transcript of text change from January 14th between Hidalgo, Transaphilis, and Madden. Hold on a second. Didn't that woman just say, bring it on? She ain't had nothing to do with nothing, but now you in the middle of the email chain. This is between them. Hidalgo texts Transaphilis and Madden that she took a stab at the scope document in the census document. What I don't know is whether these folks will be in charge of data or whether Felicity can do this disparity data too. Whether these folks will be in charge of operational advice, for example, whether we need to have roving teams or something like that, or if that's something that Texas Policy Lab and you guys and public health figure out. Hidalgo sends the same link Transaphilis sent on January 12th. But she say she ain't had nothing to do with it. She say she didn't know nothing about it. This was after people started screaming when the contract was awarded to this woman. With no cases or nothing. She was cocky. She said, I ain't had nothing to do with it. But look like you caught up in it all the way back on January 14th, 2021. It's another text chain between Nader and Transaphilis asking what's the scope she's referring to. Is she drafting a scope of work? Transaphilis responds at 9:18 p.m. that he made her and that it was for the thing she was trying to add to Felicity's scope relating to engaging community groups and stuff. So the county judge is adding stuff to a proposal that's going to come in front of the county commissioners as an RFP. The county judge is adding this to this document. Let's go. Transaphilis text, probably good for campaign purposes in her mind. So in her mind, this is what they're thinking. She's doing all this for campaign purposes. Now y'all see why I told y'all they be playing y'all. You around here on that Democratic plantation, I'm going to read it again. Probably good for campaign purposes in her mind. Transaphilis text. But anyway, if she has some intricate picture in her head, I see Felicity it. I said, F it. Let's let her define it and not make more crap up later. Nader responds at 9:28 p.m. with a hang loose emoji. Now, this is an email sent from Pariah to Poonam Benakati. Benicati is the chief of staff in the Elevate proposal I reviewed on March 8, 2021. Pariah states, and that's Felicity from Elevate, Judge Hidalgo's office in Harris County just reached out to me about taking over COVID-19 intelligence and analytics and managing a community outreach campaign to push us closer to herd immunity. They also reached out to me to do redistricting as well. So they were scheming on redistricting. They were scheming on this contract the whole time. Let's keep going. I want you to rock with me. I've reviewed text messages on January 15, 2021 at 10:36 a.m. Transafilus text Duns, Felicity Pariah, the person who may do the data work per the scope doc you helped put together. Here's the latest version. So the people that went in there as vendors 2 months prior to them submitting their proposals, they already knew who they wanted. They already had cooked the scheme up. This is an email between Transafilus and Felicity Pariah from Elevate Strategies. The email is dated January 15, 2021, 4:01 p.m. The subject of the email is scope. The email has a PDF attachment. COVID-19 scope, data scope of work. I've also reviewed another email sent minutes later that is from Transafilus to Felicity Pariah. The email is sent January 15, 4:05 p.m. The subject of the email is equity community engagement. This is all the way back in January. The email has 2 Word document attachments, one title initial equity strategy for vaccine doc. They cooking it up 2 months. So here we go. This is another email between Transafilus and Pariah Felicity from Elevate. The document named Vaccine-Related COVID Engagement Scope. It contains 4 subsections split into 4 different tasks. Task 1, title community outreach, strategy management and oversight in states. The work, blah, 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 blah. Task 2. So they had 4 different scopes in that email. All right. I reviewed an email from Felicity to Dunn on January 15th, 7:46 p.m. Man, they working late. This after office hours. All right. She asked Dunn if he has any time for a phone conversation to talk about underlying infrastructure, data pipelines, pain points regarding the current process. I reviewed the following emails, and after discussion, Pariah and Dunn agreed to speak on Monday, January 18th at 4 o'clock. And Dunn accepts a calendar invitation. This is text messages between Transafilus and Nader. And it's on January 19th, 2021. Transafilus texts Nader that they need to figure out how to mission creep Felicity. Let me say that again. To work to include the random updates if possible. They need to figure out how to mission creep Felicity. Also, I sent her an updated version of the scope, since I must have communicated incorrectly about which one to send. I sent her this one, which was not split across data and community engagement. So they hooking it all up for her. All right, let's go. I reviewed the transcript of texts between Madden and Transafilus. All right, let's see. Thoughts. I kind of just want to ask Felicity to go find 1 or more vendors to do this and then let Hidalgo run wild with it. It's a ton of stuff we could go ahead, do now, and other stuff we probably shouldn't bother wasting our time trying, but she's probably gonna want to move ahead, full bore, efficiency, be damned. Madden responded, yeah, please hand this off to a vendor so we don't have to do it. But we paying you big money to do your job and you don't want to do it, huh? This is a text message between Transafilus and Madden. Thoughts? sending this to procurement to advertise it and having CC approve it before skipping formal purchasing, as long as we get 3 bids and use $50K limit or the emergency powers separately. 1, asking Felicity if we close her on the data stuff for ideas on who can do this. Hold on a second. 2, I think he meant to say by sending it around to a handful of people or groups. 3, just sticking with A above, which makes this mute. And if A above try to somehow jam this on today's sup, Madden responds at 11:38 a.m. stating A, but Dwight doesn't move that fast, so 2-9 court. All right. This is an email on January 22nd between Transit Phillips and Dostov with Dunn CC. Transit Phillips, Tran to Phyllis tells Dobslav that he wants to put out an RFP for expedited response review and selection ASAP. You want to put out an RFP for something that you done already cooked up a vendor to get the money from. So anybody applying, they don't have a shot in hell of getting this because y'all done already set it up for her to get it. All right. The email was sent with an attachment named Vaccine Related Community Engagement Scope. So we're gonna go down. I reviewed an email from January 25th from Dobslav responding to Transit email. Dobslav gives a span of dates going from February 5th through March 22nd as being the shortest time frame for the potential RFP if purchasing guidelines are followed. He states if a shorter time frame is needed, then it would have to be an emergency under COVID to reduce the process. So they've been using COVID. That's why they wanted to keep us out them buildings. They didn't want us to come to meetings. They didn't want us nowhere around them because they was around there using COVID as a disguise to defraud us tax-paying citizens. I reviewed an email from January 25th where Dunn replies to Dobslav's email with Transit Phillips CC stating, we can work with this time frame. We'll be in touch soon about a staffer from Harris County who will join the committee as well. The committee should be Harris County Public Health and Harris County JO, whatever that is, CJO. Thanks for your help on this. So what they done did, they done made up the RFP for the woman. They done did the proposal. Now they finna stack the committee. So everybody on the committee is dirty. Let me keep going, man. Yeah, we going over 8 o'clock tonight, man. All right. I received an email between Transit Phillips and Dobslav, January 22nd, 2021. Dobslav emailed Transit Phillips asking for a title of RFP is requested. And Transit Phillips responds with an email stating, how about target community vaccine outreach? They didn't even know what the hell they wanted to name this. They just put any name on it because all they trying to get is the money. Hold on, y'all. They just put any name on it. All right. This is another email between Dunn to Transit Phillips via Google Docs with the subject line target community vaccine outreach. In the body of the email, Dunn has added 3 section items to the Google Doc titled targeted community vaccine outreach. So the first action item is titled evaluation criteria. Evaluation criterion states that boilerplate, so we should suggest changes. The second action item is titled firms requirements and states these reflect the changes I suggested. Third action item is anticipated contract terms. This RFP is for 1 year, maximum of 3 years, 1 year renewals renewal options. It's the same contract that Shakira Dennis got over in Fort Bend. I hope y'all watching out there because they finna go to jail too. Shakira, you and this little girl gonna be in the same cell. Okay, so now they got the RFP name. They know what they want to name it. They know what they want to name it. So now they know how to do it. Okay, so here you go. This is an email from February 2nd, 2021, 9:23 a.m. from Dunn to Dowslavs, Transit Phillips, Lofton, Kimu Salu. The subject is potential RFP related to COVID-19 vaccine. There's an attachment with a Google Doc. The email states, Dwight, our suggested edits are attached. Okay, so they done fixed it now. And this is a text message between Dunn and Transit Phillips on February 4th. Transit Phillips text Aaron Dunn at 3:47 p.m. Is the RFP out? Want to tell purchasing to send out the link to the RFP to Felicity and plus maybe others. So they already got it cooked up. They got it cooked up. Now they're telling them to send the RFP to her. No, you apply for RFPs. You go in there and see what RFPs are available, see if your company is there, but they are sending the RFP to the person that they want to get the money. Okay, hold on. Let me double check something. All right. Have them send it to Felicia Pariah, gave her an email address, Francis Valdez, and Shakira Dennis. Shakira Dennis? Shakira Dennis? Everybody and mama getting money around here. Shakira caught up with that contract in Fort Bend. All right. Now, this is an email from Transit Phillips to Dunn. The subject email, and it's got a Word document. The email states, you have been identified as an evaluation committee member for job for the COVID outreach. Please review the attached memo with the code of ethics. Why in the hell are you sending out the code of ethics when you stacking the committee in the first place? Let's go to the next paragraph. This is crazy, man. This is a text message conversation. This is a text message conversation between Dunn and Transit Phillips. Transit Phillips text Dunn asking, why is Sean saying they're due? 3.8 looks like it. Dunn responded at 7:40 a.m. Just got this from Sean. I will send Alex a confidentiality form this morning. I wanted to let you know that the specifications for this job were advertised on time, but were not made available on the Harris County Buy Speed online for vendors to download until this past Friday. Therefore, I have extended the date to March 8th. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to discuss with you. Transit Phillips responded, stating, Jesus. Dunn responded, stating, yeah, what the fuck? Transit Phillips stated, these people are extraordinarily incompetent. Dunn stated, looks like they effed up. Looks like they fucked up. Based upon review of the calendar, the Friday before would be February 19th. Thus, Friday the 19th would be the first day the vendor could download the vaccine RFP. This is a text message. I know it's a lot, y'all, but just rock with me. Text message between Dunn and Transit Phillips. Okay, well, I'm concerned that we may have gotten, we haven't gotten any submissions yet. Do you have any list of potential vendors that Sean can send out and that Sean can send the project to? Transit Phillips responded, yeah, the person probably didn't reach out to the three we mentioned. Can you draft up an email that you can send to these three groups, plus any others I think of in the meantime for Dwight's review before you fire it off? I'm skipping Sean, but yeah, I sent you three before. Felicity, and 2 others. And Dunn responded, sure, but I was under the impression that we can't contact them directly, but yeah, I'll do it. That's because you cannot contact these people. They have to apply for the RFP. They knew they were doing dirt. Okay, we did it for surveillance, you'll recall, with Dwight's approval. Okay, hold on. I went too far, y'all. Hold on. Got a little excited. Okay, hold on. Let's go back. Hold on a second, y'all. This is an email from Dunn to Doslop with Transafillers and Venerable CC. Come on, let's go. Dunn stated that they had drafted an email to send to potential vendors and wanted to make sure it followed procurement rules before it was sent out. The potential recipients were listed as Felicity Pariah, Elevate Strategies, Francis Valdez, Shakira Dennis, and Paula Kukoro. The draft email stated, to whom it may concern, Harris County is currently seeking bids for vendors to implement. So what they went and did is they went and sent it to people. They went and sent it to companies just so they could say they had 3 or 4 companies in the process, but they knew the whole time they were going to give it to Elevate Strategies. Okay, so we're going to skip that. Let's go. Because this is pretty long, y'all. I reviewed an email sent by Pariah to Emilio Tamez. In the body of the email, Felicity Pariah states that she had just been invited to bid for Harris County's large COVID outreach program to deceased vaccine hesitancy. She stated she has really solid relationships in-house, and I feel good about my chances in landing the contract. So I'm just starting to build out a team. You should feel good. Y'all done put the whole plan together 2 months prior. Huh. Yeah. Let's go. I reviewed transcripts of text messages between Dunn, Nader, Transa Phillips sent during the time the evaluation of vaccine responders was happening. This is the dark period. This is the dark period where you can't do nothing. Status, vaccine outreach, RFP. Dunn replied that there was one more meeting with a vendor and that they were going to put together a modified scope for one of the proposals to bring down the price. On April 20th, 2021, Transafillers text Nader and stated the vaccine outreach thing is getting ridiculous. We need to slam the door shut on UT and move on. In a text between Dunn, Nader, and Transafillers, Dunn asked Transafillers if he could make the outreach RFP meeting that's happening now, and Transafillers told him, no, take it away. Don't let UT get it. Don't let UT get it. This is a memorandum from Dosloff dated February 16, 2021 with the subject request for proposal. Okay, that's just going over the code of ethics. We're going to skip that. We're going to skip that. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, this is where it get good, y'all. This is where it get good, because now they doing all this and these people start interviewing them. The Texas Rangers starts interviewing them. So on February 3rd, 2022, it says, I interviewed Dunn. Dunn confirmed that the Harris County Judge's Office uses Google Docs to create, share, and edit documents related to COVID outreach RFP. Dunn stated the documents were retained by Google Docs indefinitely, that it is possible to see who logged in and worked on particular documents. Dunn stated the employees at the county judge's office use their county email addresses as their usernames in the Google Docs. During the interview, Dunn stated he created a scope of work for vaccine outreach RFP. Dunn confirmed that Microsoft Word document titled Vaccine-Related Community Engagement Scope Doc, that it was sent to Transophilus to Pariah. They snitching on each other now. Yeah, you sitting in that room now. You sitting in that room with them people, and now you snitching. Okay. Let's say he stated the scope of work is saved on a Google Doc and that he believes the document is still stored in Google Doc. Dunn stated that both he and Transophilus revised the scope of work to create the final version that ultimately included in vaccine outreach RFP. Dunn denied knowing that Nader and Transophilus had communicated with Pariah about the scope of work for vaccine outreach and shared it with her prior to the RFP being released. They busted because all your texts and your emails prove that you had contact with this woman. Dunn confirmed in his opinion that it would be inappropriate. He admitted to electronically signing the evaluation committee memorandum. On February 23rd, I interviewed Doslop. Doslop informed me that purchasing department memorandum sent the Transophilus, Dunn, and Nader to sign is a stock form sent by the purchasing department to all evaluation committee members prior to purchasing, sending out vendor response documents to the evaluation committee members. He stated that the Code of Ethics section is sent attached to the memorandum for their review. He stated a signed copy from the evaluation committee member is taken by the buyer for the purchasing department, and then the signed copy is kept by the purchasing department for their records. He stated that the signed copies from Transophilus, Dunn, Nader, related to the targeted community vaccine outreach are all currently kept in the records of purchasing department of Harris County. He stated that Dunn, Nader, Transophilus all served on at least 5 evaluation committees. So you know what that means. They didn't have their hands in over 5 different contracts that they gave to their friends. On February 22nd, I spoke with Doslop again. He stated he was unaware and did not believe Venerables was aware that Pariah had helped design the scope of work for the vaccine outreach. So they designed the scope of work based around what she could and could not do, y'all. He stated if Pariah did design the scope of work, then anyone who knew that should have notified Venables. He stated that Elevate would have been subsequently disqualified. Yeah, but the texts and the emails prove that she helped design it. Stated that he had been sent a copy of the document. Vaccine-related community engagement scope was emailed to Transophilus to Pariah on February 15, 2021. He agreed that it appeared to be substantially similar to the scope of work that was contained within the vaccine outreach RFP. I received records from the Harris County Judge's Office listing all Harris County electronic devices. So, man, they went after desktops, laptops, phones, Apple phones. Yeah, they want your watch. They want everything. And all that was assigned to Nader. So now they finna go, they dug into Nader. Okay. I've reviewed numerous transcript texts sent and received from cell phones listed above that are relevant to my investigation. It is clear that these messages, some of which were discussed above, that Dunn, Transophilus, Nader regularly used the listed equipment to conduct county business. Harris County personnel policy and procedures state an employee has no expectation of privacy in the workplace. The policy states assume that what you do while on duty or using county equipment is not private. So that means you got to give it all up, homie. Everything you use, you got to give it all up. Okay, let's see. On March 11, 2022, I spoke with Texas Ranger Shane Ellison. Ellison told me the same day that he went to Nader's address to his residence on Main Street. Ellison told me that he requested Nader relinquish the Nader electronic devices. He wanted all his stuff. Ellis told me that Nader also transferred a laptop, an Apple MacBook, and all this other stuff. He gave him all his electronic equipment. So everybody, their mama, finna go to jail. All right. Then they wanted to get Nader. They wanted Nader's MacBook photograph videos. You can see everything they wanted from it. They wanted all this. Okay. Okay, we're going to skip some things and let's go in here. Therefore, I believe that within the Apple MacBook are communications and files that will show that through email phone conversations on January 13th through January 24th, Dunn, Nader, Transit Phillips obtained non-public information due to their employment at the Harris County Judge's office. And that information disclosed to Pariah pertained to an ongoing competitive situation, and the release of the information harmed Harris County by providing an advantage to a competitor in a particular ongoing competitive situation. And they shared this non-public information with Felicity Pariah, aiding her in obtaining a pecuniary interest in the contract for targeted community vaccine, committing misuse of official information. All right. The electronic data also shows that Dunn, Transit Phillips, and Nader signed their memorandum on February 23rd, February 24th, March 10th, respectively, agreeing to conduct themselves in accordance with Purchasing Code of Ethics. Dunn, Nader, and Transit Phillips presented their respective memorandum to purchasing. So they all said that they were going to do the right thing. And they actually did not. They are defrauding. So this is actually, let's see what this is. This is when they took his MacBook. This is where they had to go get this stuff from. So they got desktop MacBooks, everything. Everything assigned to Wallace Nader and Transit Phillips. They wanted all of it. They got it on March 16, 2022. Deron Parker, peace officer, and he went after, let me see, address, do something to believe that Harris County. So this is the warrant where they went in and they started seizing stuff from the Harris County building assigned to Wallace Nader and Alex Transit Phillips. They believed that it was in the Harris County building, and so that's where they went. And that's when you saw them go and get the warrants and all that. And I'm just going through this for y'all. It's so much. It is just so much. I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna say this, because we've been at it for an hour and a half. The documents prove everything. That they allowed this woman to create the parameters of the RFP, request for procurement. That's when you trying to get a county contract or whatever. They do RFPs in the school district. This is why it's so corrupt. So they didn't know the name of what they wanted to do. They just knew that they wanted to do something. And basically, Felicity came up with the number amount of how much she needed to do what she needed to do. And you were just going to scheme and steal $11 million. Hidalgo said, bring it on. She had not done anything wrong. According to the documentation that these people have and the proof that they have provided, you did have knowledge. You helped create the scope of the work. You made sure that this contract was steered to your friends. And I think that we all need to send, and everybody here send 10 emails apiece. Tell all your friends, send 10. This woman needs to resign her position immediately, because what she did is what they've been doing for years. And the thing is, enough is enough. We're paying taxes out the behinds. You see what I'm saying? It's unreal what these people are doing, and now they're caught. So all of y'all out there that's caping for Hidalgo, oh, she's this, she's the best county judge we've ever had. Well, I'm gonna tell you like this here: either she paying you under the goddamn table, or you the stupidest SOB walking around. This woman has got caught. She has got caught, and I'm sorry, but I don't think too many people can stand toe-to-toe with a contract that's coming from the University of Texas Health Science. A one-woman show can outdo the University of Texas Health Science. Well, we knew that wasn't going to happen because the way they cooked the deal up, it was geared towards her. They were going to steer to her anyway. So all you vendors out there that bust your behind and you out there doing all this work, because when you apply for a contract, when you do an RFP, it is tons of paperwork that you have to do. Man, y'all ain't have a shot in hell. So if they were doing it, how many times has Ellis done it? How many times has Garcia done it? How many times have they done this? How many times have they done? They do this in the county. They do it in the city of Houston. They do it in all the school districts. They do it in Harris County Department of Education. They're doing it everywhere. So when is there a cutoff? You guys should not cast a vote for this crook. If you want these crooks in office, then vote for Hidalgo. Vote for Hidalgo. Ain't nothing gonna change. They ain't gonna stop doing what they're doing. They just gonna try to cover their tracks. But every one of these people named in this warrant should be fired immediately. Everybody named in this warrant should either resign their position, and that includes the county judge, who should go right now. I'm not finna sit here and play with y'all and tell you I'm happy about what I just read. Oh, hell no. But these are the crooks. These who y'all want. Y'all wanted to vote her in, huh? Y'all want to vote her back in? And she around here gonna steal 11 million. Just gonna take 11 million from us. And we got to foot the bill for COVID outreach. At the end, getting close to the end of the pandemic, you want to educate people on the pandemic. Are you serious? No. And you're right, Feldenbonner. Let me put his comment up for y'all. He said, that's exactly what I was thinking. No true community vendor had a chance. We've been saying this for years. True community applicants rarely receive funding from these RFPs. And I'm telling you, I cleared an RFP in HISD, and then I just didn't want to do it. I cleared it. So I know the process, and everything that they did during that process was a violation of the law. And the county judge knew what they were doing because that was her friend. And she was going to kick you some of that money back, you scandalous little. I'm going to say it like this here, and I don't care who get mad. Wherever you came from, get your stuff and go back. And I'm being serious, man. So if y'all still want to rock with her, then rock with her. She's a thief. If you lie, you steal. That's what my mama told me. Say, man, it's a reason I'm the best in the business. Every night, 7 o'clock, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. It's the OG. I'm going to make y'all hate my guts every day I tell the truth. Get on the phone and call your people and tell them the great one is in the building. Who am I? I'm the 5-star general. Hidalgo, we going to send you packing. You ain't going to make it to the general, but I tell you where you might be. Down in the county jail. Right where you need to be. You ain't gonna make it in the general. Give it up. We're gonna have a new county judge in November, y'all. Until Monday, I'll holler at you.